The Cold War, a time of fear. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a battle for global dominance. Both sides were developing nuclear weapons. The threat of annihilation hung heavy in the air, but there was another battle being fought. A secret battle for the human mind. The CIA believed the Soviets were brainwashing people. They feared the creation of Manchurian candidates, assassins programmed to kill. The US needed to fight back. They needed their own mind control program. That's how Project MK Ultra was born. MK Ultra was top secret. Its goal was to develop techniques for controlling the human mind. They wanted to create spies and soldiers who would obey without question. They wanted to extract secrets from enemy agents. They wanted to erase memories and implant new ones. MK Ultra was the CIA's foray into the dark world of mind control. The program was authorized in 1953. It was run by a man named Sidney Gottlieb. Gottlieb was a brilliant chemist. He was also ruthless and secretive. He was the perfect man to lead MK Ultra. Under his direction, the CIA began a series of twisted experiments. They used drugs, hypnosis, and torture. They experimented on unwitting subjects. They wanted to unlock the secrets of the human mind, no matter the cost. Before MK Ultra, there were other programs. Programs like Project Bluebird and Project Artichoke. These were the precursors to MK Ultra. They laid the groundwork for the CIA's mind control obsession. Project Bluebird started in 1950. The goal was to develop interrogation techniques. They wanted to make sure captured agents wouldn't break under pressure. They also experimented with ways to make people more susceptible to suggestion. Hypnosis was a key focus. Project Artichoke began in 1951. This project took things further. They explored more extreme methods. Drugs like LSD and sodium pentothal were used. They wanted to see if they could induce amnesia. They wanted to erase memories and create blank slates. They also explored techniques for implanting false memories. These early programs were small and secretive, but they showed the CIA the potential of mind control. They proved that it was possible to manipulate the human mind. These early successes paved the way for MK Ultra. MK Ultra was on a different level. It was bigger, more ambitious, and more ruthless. It ran from 1953 to 1973. During those 2 decades, the CIA conducted hundreds of experiments. They used universities, hospitals, and prisons as cover. They recruited doctors, scientists, and even criminals to participate. The full scope of MK Ultra is still unknown. Many of the records were destroyed. LSD was a key focus of MK Ultra. The CIA believed it could be the key to unlocking the mind. They gave it to unsuspecting people in bars and restaurants. They even dosed their own agents. The results were unpredictable and often disastrous. People had psychotic breaks, some died. But the CIA pressed on. MK Ultra wasn't just about LSD. They explored other methods of mind control. Hypnosis was refined. They used it to try to program assassins. Sensory deprivation was another area of interest. Subjects were locked in isolation tanks for days. They wanted to see how the mind would break down without external stimuli. MK Ultra was a dark chapter in American history. It was a time when the government experimented on its own citizens. They did it in the name of national security, but the methods were often brutal and inhumane. LSD was a powerful tool. It could alter perception, mood, and thought. The CIA thought it could be the key to breaking down enemy agents. They thought it could make people talk, or even turn them into programmable assassins. The CIA conducted countless experiments with LSD. They dosed their own employees, military personnel, and unsuspecting civilians. They slipped it into drinks at parties. They even set up brothels where prostitutes would dose their clients. All of this was done without consent. The results were unpredictable. Some people had positive experiences, others had terrifying trips, some experienced lasting psychological trauma. There were even deaths linked to the CIA's LSD experiments. One of the most infamous LSD experiments was called Operation Midnight Climax. The CIA set up safe houses in San Francisco and New York City. They hired prostitutes to lure men to the safe houses. The men were then dosed with LSD without their knowledge. The CIA agents would watch from behind two-way mirrors, taking notes on the effects of the drug. The CIA's obsession with LSD eventually backfired. As the drug became more popular in the counterculture, the agency worried about exposure. They began to shut down the LSD experiments, but the damage was already done. Section 5. Beyond LSD. Other methods of control. MK Ultra wasn't just about LSD. The CIA explored a range of mind control techniques. They used hypnosis, electroshock therapy, and sensory deprivation. They even investigated psychic phenomena like telepathy and clairvoyance. Hypnosis was a major focus of MK Ultra. The CIA believed it could be used to extract information, program assassins, and create amnesia. They experimented with different hypnotic techniques. They combined hypnosis with drugs like sodium pentothal and LSD. Electroshock therapy, or ECT, was another tool in the CIA's arsenal. They used it to erase memories and induce amnesia. The CIA's use of ECT was often brutal. They used higher voltages and longer durations than what was considered medically acceptable. Sensory deprivation was another area of interest. The CIA subjected people to prolonged periods of isolation and sensory deprivation. They locked them in soundproof rooms and float tanks. The goal was to break down their sense of self and make them more susceptible to suggestion. Section 6. Victims of Mind Control. Frank Olson and the Allan Memorial Institute. MK Ultra ruined lives. Countless people were subjected to the CIA's experiments without their consent. Many suffered lasting psychological trauma. Some even died. One of the most well-known victims of MK Ultra was Frank Olson. Olson was a biochemist working for the CIA. In 1953, he was unknowingly dosed with LSD by a CIA operative. 9 days later, he plunged to his death from a hotel window in New York City. The CIA initially ruled his death a suicide, but his family suspected foul play. Another dark chapter in the MK Ultra story involves the Allan Memorial Institute in Montreal, Canada. The CIA funded research at the institute from 1957 to 1964. Dr. Ewan Cameron led the experiments. He subjected patients to a brutal regimen of drug-induced comas, electroshock therapy, and sensory deprivation. Cameron's goal was to depattern the mind. He wanted to erase existing memories and personality traits. He believed he could then repattern the mind, creating new personalities and beliefs. His experiments had devastating consequences. Many of his patients suffered permanent psychological damage. They experienced amnesia, confusion, and hallucinations. Some were unable to care for themselves. Section 7. Exposure and Cover-Up. The Church Committee and its Aftermath. For years, MK Ultra remained a secret. The CIA went to great lengths to cover up their activities, but in 1975, the truth began to emerge. A Senate committee led by Senator Frank Church investigated the CIA's abuses. The Church Committee, as it became known, uncovered the existence of MK Ultra and other illegal activities. The Church Committee's findings were shocking. The American public learned that their own government had been experimenting on them without their knowledge or consent. The revelations sparked outrage and calls for reform. The CIA, fearing further scrutiny, destroyed many of the MK Ultra records. Richard Helms, the director of the CIA at the time, ordered the destruction of the files. He claimed it was to protect the identities of the agents involved, but many believed it was an attempt to cover up the program's crimes. Despite the CIA's efforts, some MK Ultra documents survived. These documents, along with testimony from victims and whistleblowers, helped to piece together the story of MK Ultra. The program was officially halted in 1973, but the scars it left behind remain. Section 8. MK Ultra in Popular Culture, Conspiracy and Controversy. MK Ultra has become a fixture of popular culture. It's been the subject of countless books, movies, and TV shows. The program's real-world horrors have captured the imagination of writers and filmmakers. The Manchurian Candidate, both the novel and the film adaptations, are perhaps the most famous examples of MK Ultra in popular culture. The story revolves around a Korean War veteran who has been brainwashed into becoming a sleeper assassin. The film was released in 1962, just as the CIA's real-life mind control program was in full swing. MK Ultra has also fueled countless conspiracy theories. Some believe that the program never really ended. They claim that the government is still using mind control techniques to manipulate the population. Others believe that MK Ultra is responsible for everything from mass shootings to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The popularity of MK Ultra in popular culture is a testament to the program's enduring power. It's a story that taps into our deepest fears about government overreach and the manipulation of the human mind. Section 9. The Legacy of MK Ultra: Ethical Concerns and Unanswered Questions. MK Ultra's legacy is a dark one. The program represents a massive breach of trust between the government and its citizens. It's a reminder of what can happen when unchecked power runs amok. MK Ultra also raised serious ethical questions about the limits of human experimentation. The revelations about MK Ultra led to new regulations and oversight of human research. The Belmont Report, published in 1979, established ethical principles for human experimentation. The report emphasized the importance of informed consent, minimizing risks to subjects, and ensuring that the benefits of research outweigh the risks. Despite these reforms, MK Ultra continues to haunt us. Many questions remain unanswered. The full extent of the program is still unknown. Many of the records were destroyed. We still don't know how many people were affected by MK Ultra, and we don't know if the government has ever truly given up on mind control. MK Ultra serves as a warning about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of government transparency. It's a reminder that we must always be vigilant in defending our freedoms, especially the freedom of our own minds.